Hi, I'm Craig and welcome to Your Tech. Today's video, I'm going to do an update on the £500 PC. This will be the 2025 edition. Let's see what changes and what prices we can get for a decent £500 budget gaming PC. The goal is 1080p, at least 60Hz on almost all games, medium to high settings at the absolute least. Decent-ish storage, as long as there's a terabyte, I'm pretty much happy. And let's see if we can't do things a little bit differently from last time. Also, I am going to allow used parts. Didn't on the last one. I feel with some of the options you've got in the second-hand market at the minute, you're missing quite a nice path or quite a nice option to be getting a lot more bang for your buck. So, what kind of requirements are we looking for? We'll want a CPU with at least 4 cores, decent boost clock. Preferably something that comes with its own cooler, just because it's usually a bit cheaper. At least 16 gigs of RAM, dedicated graphics card, a power supply that's not going to instantly implode, and basically the cheapest motherboard. When it comes to doing budget setups and budget gaming PCs, if you're going to try and cut corners, the motherboard's kind of the place to do it. Like, the motherboard's important, but most of the time the price in motherboards go up because of whatever features there are. If you can live without them features, you can save yourself the money and potentially get yourself a better CPU or a better GPU. It's always something that you can upgrade down the line. As always, we're going to be starting with PC part picker. I love a bit of PC part picker myself. And let's see what we can get. So we'll start off with the CPU. On the filters, we're going to go straight to 4 cores. And we'll take the thread count up to 8, just because that will weed out the older CPUs that are going to come up that didn't have hyper-threading back then. And let's organise by price. Now, I'll be honest, these are always on my list for proper budget setups. £54 for a 6-core CPU with 4.1 GHz boost clock is a really, really good buy. It's hard to say no to. I see these everywhere when people are trying to flip PCs on Facebook and eBay and all that. I see Ryzen 5 4500s everywhere. And I understand why. They are a good CPU for the money. I'm going to try something a little bit more modern. I'm going to go for, I think the Intel 14100F is a great buy. 4.7 GHz boost clock is so good. Do you remember a few years ago when everyone was struggling to get that 5 GHz threshold on the boost clocks? And now a 100 series processor hitting 4.7, absolutely amazing, love it. So 14100F, let's just make sure that comes with a cooler. Yep, includes CPU cooler, and it's only a 58 watt CPU, so that should be dead easy to cool. So straight away, that's easily good enough for me, and for just under £70, absolute bargain. I will premise this as well. Don't just rely on PC part picker for everything. Like, you could Google 14100F and there's a chance that you'll be able to find the same CPU cheaper elsewhere. Not every single store is on PC part picker, so just be aware, have a look around just in case you find one a bit cheaper. Skip CPU cooler, it's got one and that is good enough for me. Motherboard is going to be a dead easy one as well, organised by price. And let's see what our options are. We have got the MSI Pro H610. What's the cheapest B series? Cheapest B660M is 80 quid. Or we can save 25 quid and get the H610. You know what, I've had some issues with Gigabyte in the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to go for the MSI Pro. I think, let's have a quick look at what its specs are like. Memory speed up to 3200, absolutely fine. It's got an M.2 slot, 4 SATA ports, gigabit Ethernet. Should be absolutely fine for our use case, so that's an easy one. MSI Pro H610M-E-DDR4. Warning that you may have to update the BIOS to get that to work, which is absolutely fine, we can do that. Let's have a look at the memory. We want 3200 and preferably cache latency 16. Oh, and we want 2 times 8 gig sticks. £24 for 16 gigs DDR4. This is the best thing about last gen the hardware. DDR4 is now last gen, so the prices have absolutely plummeted. I love to see that, because DDR4 is still good. Still good. Capacity, we're on to storage. So we want at least a terabyte, and we'll check SSD. Team Group, never had issues with. Patriot's always been fine. Kingston's fine. Crucial's good. I quite like Crucial, got a lot of time for that. PCI 3 though. Like, I know the loading times don't make too much of a difference, but if you can get PCIe Gen 4 for around the same price, I mean, the MSI Spatum one is actually cheaper. £45 for a 1TB SSD. Easy. If we've got some budget left at the end and we can't get like the next tier of CPU or the next tier of graphics card, I will come back and up the storage, see if we can get like a 2TB SSD instead, or a second SATA 1TB SSD, because this has only got one M.2 slot, remember. Oh no, we're not doing video card yet, we'll do that last. Case, we are looking for a budget case, and there should be quite a lot to choose from. So we want something budget but not crap. To be honest with you, I quite like Aerocool. I know they're only really a budget brand, but they do some nice cases. Solid front, absolutely not. Oh, Matrix, that looks quite nice. That's different. How much is that? That is out of stock. Of course it is. Quite like that as well. It's quite understated. You could go fish tank style. There was a couple of budget fish tank ones up there, but I don't think they look right unless you fully populate them with fans. So I think we'll probably stay away from them and get something with some included fans, like that. 31 litres CIT Slammer, £45, 46. Let's just double check to see what the specs are on it. Video card length 325, sound. Doesn't tell you the dimensions for the power supply, which is something you should always check. Whenever you're buying a case from anywhere, double check that the PSU you're buying will fit. Because I have known that happen. I haven't done it yet, touch wood. I've been close though. Always check to see what's the biggest power supply you can get in it. Max CPU cooler 165, GPU 325, cable routing space is 20mm. Max PSU length 190. Not bad, not bad at all. That should give us plenty of space. Talking of power supplies, so at least 650 watt at this price point, I would think. You might be able to get away with a 550 watt, but if I can, I get a decent 650 watt. Nvidia, GameMax, Aerocool, these are all ones that you'll see in your Facebook builds, without a shadow of a doubt. I don't know if they're any good or not. I don't have much experience with them. I think I've used a GameMax one once, and I've used a GameMax one a couple of times, and it's always been okay. And that was purely out of necessity. The customer did not want to pay more than what the GameMax one cost, which I think was about 25, 30 quid. It wasn't a lot at all. So I was forced to, and touch wood, they've had no issues thus far. My options here would be the MSI Mag A650BN, 80 plus bronze. It's not modular, but it is only 50 quid. The Corsair CX 2023 version would be my second one. Or Be Quiet, I do like Be Quiet power supplies as well though. I've used an MSI power supply in my streaming PC. I'm going to keep with that trend, and I'm going to go for MSI, and we'll get the MSI 650 watt bronze power supply. Doing well with MSI. MSI motherboard, MSI storage, MSI power supply. MSI are doing some decent budget offerings, it looks like. Oh, and we're on to the video card next. So, how much do we have to spend? I'm not including shipping in the price for no other reason than it's not usually accurate. I have some things on here come up as free shipping that they charge me for, and I have some things on here that say they charge for shipping and I've got free shipping. So I'm ignoring the shipping charges on PC Part Picker, and we're just going for the bare bones, the PC. I mean, a lot of these have like collection points and stuff you can go to for free as well. So video card, £217 and 11 pence to play with. So straight away, let's put that as our budget. I have moved the wrong slider, and that is because I am not a smart man. This time we'll do it from most expensive to least expensive and see if there's anything in there that is screaming out to us as a good deal. So the RX 6600 is making an appearance again. Still a great budget card, £210, not bad at all. It seems like it's that or a 3050. I rate the 6600 over the 3050 every time. However, I think we can do better. So I mentioned second-hand parts. This was the main use case for it. So I'm gonna have a look at CEX. For a budget graphics card, second-hand graphics card, they sometimes have some absolute bargains, and you get a 5-year warranty. The warranty from CEX is sometimes better than the manufacturer's own warranty, which is awesome. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna click in stock online. We'll put our max to, what was it, 217, search that. We will sort high to low and see what options CEX has got for us. 3060, already we're a class higher than what brand new is. 7600 is a good card. 3060, 6600 XT, 3060 Ti, that could be a shout. So at the minute, the 3060 Ti is definitely winning out. Still a very strong card, especially at 1080p, and it can do some 1440p, but 1080p, 3060 Ti, still really good. 6700, that's a good card. £205 for a 6700, that's not bad. 3060s, 6650s, 6600s. They have a lot of graphics cards to offer at this price range. A lot of them are the same model, but different SKUs. B570 there for 195, that's not bad. 2070 Super for 190. Oh, look at that, the daddy. 1080 Ti for 180. Amazing. Do you know the only thing that would put me off getting a 1080 Ti in a budget build like this would be the power draw? Because as good as the 1080 Ti is, it was not a power efficient card at all. So if you want to go second hand, I would highly recommend the 3060 Ti. If you wanted to save yourself a little bit of money, I would go for the 2070 Super, which is £190 and an absolute bargain. They are still great 1080p cards. And they can do 1440p in some titles, just to manage your expectations a bit. But for an extra 20 quid, the 3060 Ti, £210 with a 5-year warranty for a card that will smash 1080p. And they are great 1080p cards. That'd be my choice. That'd be the video card that I would choose. However, if you don't want secondhand, don't trust CEX, if you got beef with CEX, whatever it is, your only other option really is a 6600. Or a 3050. And I could see why you pick the 3050. If the games you mainly play can take advantage of DLSS, by all means get a 3050. But for £2.99 less, you can get a 3060 Ti from CEX, and that's a hell of a performance jump. That's not a little bit of a margin, that's a big margin. Fortunately, I'm not logged in, so I can't create a custom one. However, I do have a calculator of doom. £492.89 is our total. And for that, we get a relatively current gen CPU and motherboard. The Intel 14100F, a great little CPU, 4 cores, 8 thread, and a boost clock of 4.7 gigahertz. All that for 70 quid, bargain. That is actually cheaper at the minute than the 12100. That is a good buy. Happy with that. Cheapest chips motherboard from MSI, sound. A lovely budget case that should fit everything. Let me just double check that the power supply will fit. Yep, with 50mm of clearance. And that's it. I think whether you go used or not, that's a great system. That will game 1080p quite happily, regardless of whether you get the RX 66, the RTX 3050, the RTX 3060 Ti, the 2070 Super, even if you went down to the 2070, which I think was £175. Like, any one of them cards at 1080p will hit 60 frames a second, medium, high, even ultra settings on some games. And I think near enough anyone would be happy for that price point to get that level of performance. You've even got enough money left over if you really wanted to buy yourself a Windows license off a CD Key website. Just don't buy it from Microsoft for £100, because what a rip-off that is. That is what I would buy in 2025 for a budget gaming PC with a budget of £500, and I'd be more than happy with that. If all you want is gaming and you've got £500 burning a hole in your back pocket, there is a system that will do you absolutely fine. I've been Craig from Your Tech. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please feel free to watch this one or this one. We will have the TeamU keyboard Shocked the hell out of me. Still can't believe how good that keyboard was for the money. And we have the test bench video. I bought a budget test bench from Amazon and I loved it. There's a video on it, watch it. And hopefully I shall see you on the next one. Bye.